Hello friends, it's Kathy Clement with Kathy by Design. Welcome to Wonderful Wednesday. This is a weekly series that I do on my blog and we follow a schedule. The first Wednesday of the month we do our tag of the month. The second Wednesday of the month is our banner of the month. And so this is our banner of the month for May 2024. It's a gorgeous graphic 45, the Beach is Calling banner, trimmed up with goodies from Really Reasonable Ribbon, Reneabouquets, and all kinds of my favorite things. So if you would like to learn how to build this gorgeous banner, stick around because the tutorial is coming up next. All right, friends, let's see what we're going to use to make this beautiful beachy banner. I have pulled out my graphic 45, The Beach is Calling. I love this collection. And I have some pieces from the ephemera assortment. I have the frames and tags. I have the sticker sheet. I have the 8x8 pad. And I'll just show you the patterns here very quickly because I know you love to see these. I love these bathing suits, polka dots, the cut apart page, journal cards, this great border piece with text on the back. This is a great just all over collage print with these blue stripy lines on the back. Here's our border and stamps with another really great little beach house collage on the back, these great seashells. And here's another really fun cut apart page. And I also have the patterns and solids. And I've used a lot of these, but I still have these beach houses, the text, this collage sheet, the stripes, text page in beige, the collage in this beachy blue, and the stripes in the beachy blue. And then I have a few sheets of 12 by 12 because I like these large postage stamps to use on my smaller pennants. So just give you a quick look at these because I know you like to see. Okay, so that's the paper. Then I've brought in some dies from my stash. This is a little fishtail banner die. It's got stitched sides. And I traced it onto craft paper and then onto the Patterns and Solids navy blue because I felt like it needed grounding. This is a graphic 45 regular craft tag. These are getting kind of hard to find, but I still have some in my stash. And I die cut the liner with the matching die and then just traced around, again, this navy blue. And then here's the larger. So these are the three basic pennants that we're using, and I've just repeated them with the patterns and the sizes to create a really nice shaped banner. There are 8 pennants in all with these small pennants on each side. So for ribbon, I've got this gorgeous, Really Reasonable ribbon, silky crushed satin, and then another favorite of mine, this blue, ivory, and gold plaid that has this great shimmering gold in there. And then I've also tied a bunch of little gold bows. From Reneabouquets, I pulled out these blue Aurora Borealis butterflies with the butterfly kisses, and then some of these beautiful sand dollar laser cut elements. I love the texture they add. And then some of these little seashell pieces. I forget what they're called, but I'll link to it in the supply list on my blog, which will also be linked in the description box below. So let me clear this stuff off my desk and I'll show you how we get started. the first thing I'm going to do, well, I already stitched around my pennants, and I just like the texture that this adds, but I'm going to take my piece of silky crush ribbon, and this is probably 2 yards. I'm going to find the middle point. I'm going to find the middle point of my banner, which is this pennant, and I'm going to use a binder clip to hold this in place. All right, and then I'm going to space these out. I like to have about 1 inch between each pennant. I might even go 1.5 inches. We've got a nice long piece of ribbon here, 1.25 inches, just whatever looks good to your eye. And just go down each side of the banner, and you're just going to clip these on, spacing them out evenly. And of course, the binder clip helps hold them in place, because the next thing we're going to do is go to our sewing machine and stitch these to the ribbon. So I just do like this, and I'm just going to do a few of these. Then I also went in my stash, and this is an older ribbon from Really Reasonable Ribbon. It was a burlap stitched, and I really like the way this looks along the top. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to tuck this in, and I'm going to space it along, and then this will be in place when I go to stitch this. And this just adds a little more of a rustic beachy feel with this really elegant ribbon in the back. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to my sewing machine, stitch this together, and then I'll be back. All right, friends, you can see I've sewn my banner onto my ribbon. I sewed right down the middle of this stripe with using navy thread, and then I stitched a second row at the bottom of the ribbon. And what this does is when the banner is hung, it lays flat so it doesn't pop up. Then I went ahead and I put together my little bow cluster over here with my plaid ribbon, and I've got this really cool ropey stuff that I found in my stash that gives it that really textured sort of nautical feel. I'm going to show you how I did this. We'll come down here to this opposite end. Unfortunately, my table is only just so long, so we're going to have to kind of do this one end then the other end, but I folded this in half. And this is about 20 inches long, so it's a good long piece of ribbon. And I'm going to come down here to this end, and I'm just going to tie a really simple once around knot, just like that. Then I'm going to adjust all my other ribbon pieces the way I want them to go so that they hang off the side the way I want them to. And I'm going to come in with my bow that I tied with our blue, ivory, and gold ribbon. And I like the tails to go up, but you can do them however you like. I'm going to put some adhesive on that knot, and I'm going to put this here, and I'm just going to use these little tonic scissors to hold that in place for a minute for that glue to set. And then you can come in with your fingers and you can go into the loops of your bow and just fluff that up. All right. Then I have another gold. And for this, I like to fold, I call these the legs back or the loops. Put my adhesive right on the knot. Put this on top of the knot. And just hold it in place for that glue to set. And again, while the glue is setting up, I'm just fussing my bow. And I want these gold pieces to kind of pop out the back, if that makes sense. All right. Now I've added my flower cluster on top of the bow, And we're going to do this together down on the other end. So again, I'm just pulling all my ribbons and trims where I want them to be. And this is a really reasonable ribbon, white magnolia. You can leave these closed up like they come, or you can do what I just did and you can press these open. And then this is one of the earth tone magnolias. And I'm just kind of squishing that up with my fingers. And I'm going to tuck this in right here, okay? This is a blue peony. And these again are all the flowers from the Really Reasonable Ribbon shop. And then these are the itty bitty Sweetheart Blossoms mixed blue. And I want to tuck this in. I kind of wrapped the stems together and I want to tuck it in behind that magnolia just for the contrast of color. So that takes care of our flowers and our bows. I always like to start with my center pennant because it's kind of the focal point. So for my chipboard tags, I chose this Enjoy the Waves. I've painted the edges, just brushed it with a little white chalk paint to kind of make it look like salt spray. And I've put 1/4 inch score tape on the back. Now we're going to turn this into a shaker. It's kind of fun to have a shaker element on a banner. And I think this is going to look really neat. So I have a piece of clear acetate to go over my tape, and then I'm going to come in with my score tape. This is 1/4 inch, and I'm going to go right over the top and just create a little elevation here for this shaker. And honestly, I think 1 layer of foam tape is going to be plenty because I'm not putting any buttons or dimensional things in it. So we're going to bring in our banner. Here's our center panel. Just going to kind of place this, and I want to cut a piece of this border strip to go along the top like this. All right. And then I've got this little title that says "The Beach is Calling." And I'm going to glue this down. At an angle. And then I've got this little seagull icon. These are all from the ephemera pack. And I'm just going to tuck this so that it's kind of back behind there. Now I'm going to come in with my shaker mix. And this is Buttons Galore and More. It's called Summer Nights. And I've shaken it pretty good so that the beads will come down toward the top. And I'm just going to grab some elements to go in there. I'm going to take out the buttons because I didn't put enough thickness in for buttons. And what will happen is the shakers will get stuck, and then it's not pretty. Maybe a couple of these thinner ones are okay. All right. That's a really fun shaker mix. So I'm going to push these into the center. Remove my foam tape. And I'm going to center this up. And press it into place. Now I'm going to come in with one of these Reneabouquets starfish. I just love these. I don't paint these or anything. These are perfect just as they are. So this is going to go right here. And for right now, I think that's good. Now we're going to do this pennant to the right of our shaker, and I've added a little border piece. I took this from our die cut ephemera, inked the edges, and I put foam tape on the back, and then I just kind of rounded it out with my fingers and bent the ends a little bit to create a little bit of dimension for this. And we're just going to put this down right here. And you see how that little bit of foam tape just really makes everything pop. It's really kind of fun. And then I want to take our sun sentiment and I'm going to put it right here. Okay? With our umbrella in the background. That looks really neat. That's all I'm going to do for now. Then we're going to do the piece to the left of the shaker. And for this, I'm going to put down another piece of my border. I'm just marking that with my thumbnail. And then I can trim it off nice and straight. Oops. Right side up is always good. There we go. Then I took our sand castle and the shells and I put foam tape between them and then a piece of foam tape on the back. And this is going to go right here. And then the word sand is going to go and I'm not going to put any foam tape on the word sand. I'm just going to kind of snug it in right here. Okay. All right, now we're going to work on this pennant that's to the left of our sandcastle. And again, I put a border piece down. I've taken our surfboard image and put foam tape on the back. And we're going to put this down right here. I'm going to take a little adhesive and lay down this little wave flourish, just like this. And then I took salt in the air. I'm just rounding this with my fingers. You see how easy that is? I put a double layer of foam tape on the right, and I'm going to put my adhesive on the left. And this is going to go right here. And I'm kind of pushing it together to create that bow. And then I want to take one sand dollar and tuck it in right here, just like that. So that takes care of that one. All right, we're moving right along. This is a really fun banner, and this is not as like, this is more like just beachy, not all the floral stuff. All right, then we're going to come down here. I've got my border piece to go along the top that covers up that stitching. But the stitching is important, right? It really makes a difference. So this is going to go right along the top. Then our little beach house with foam tape on it is going to go here. All right, and then I've got a sand dollar. To go here. And a seashell to go kind of on top of it. These are so perfect for this. I love them. All right, and then this last one, last but not least, I want to cover up my stitching, but I only had a little piece of this border left. So what I did was I tore it. I'm going to put a little bit of it right here. And the other little bit of it on the opposite side. All right. Then I've got this, I cut this out of the 12 by 12 paper to fit my pennant. I'm just going to put some foam tape on it. And this is going to go right here, just like that. Then I've got the word surf. And I'm going to put foam tape on this. And do my little trick where I round it out. So that's going to sit right there. And then we have a sand dollar to go here. And a shell to go right here. Okay? It's really sweet. That brings us down to this little pennant on this side. This one's just super simple. I cut out some postage stamps from that 12 by 12. I'm going to put foam tape on the back. I took this flourish, this large flourish, and just tore it in half. So I'm going to put my postage down and then figure out where I want my flourish to tuck in. I'm thinking right there. And I didn't press that down at all so that I can come in and tuck that in place. It's just a little detail, but it makes a really nice difference. And I'm going to put this little postage stamp, this little seashell on my actual postage stamp. Okay, so that takes care of that one. Super simple. And then the other end, of course, is another postage stamp where we're just going to do the opposite of what we just did on the other end. And this one's going to tuck in this way. So I think I want my flourish to go up this time. Like this. All right. And let's take a sand doll, starfish, and glue it down right here. All right, and that's it. I'm going to add buttons in between each pennant. I'm going to thread buttons and put them in between. I'm not sure what color yet. I might go with wood. I might go with white. I'm not sure what to do, but I'll play with that. And I don't think there's, I mean, those are just the little details. I'll put little dangles in the bottoms. And I might add some sequins sparkling around the butterflies. I think I want one. I wasn't sure if I wanted them, to be honest with you. I love them. Oh, actually, that's really gorgeous. Yep. So let's put one right there. Up in this corner. Yeah, that's really gorgeous. And I'll have to think about the rest, but you'll see it in the detail photos, so you don't have to worry about that. But that's our May 2024 banner of the month with Graphic 45. The beach is calling. This is a really great bit of seasonal home decor. And I think I'm going to put this one in my shop. And if you want it in your beach house, you can go grab it. Thanks for joining me, Kathy Clement, Kathy by Design. Be sure to give this video a like, share it with your friends. You can post it online. Anything you do to get the word out is helpful to me. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I'd love to have you along for the journey. We have a lot of fun here. And I'm going to finish this, clean up my mess, and go get my craft on. Thanks, friends. Bye.